Hello. Can you guys hear me? Yes, you can. Okay, cool. GZTV back with another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about the 5th episode of Season 3 of The Walking Dead, Say the Word. Now I'm in the process of actually going ahead and editing my lucky album review, so that should be out literally by 7. It's like 6:23 right now. We're going to get this video out, then I'm going to finish editing, then I'm going to post that, so literally at 7. Twitch stream, GZTV live on Twitch, all lowercase, will be going live for a New Music Friday stream starting probably when basketball's over, or football's over, sorry. I'm not really sure, actually. We might just turn the football on the TV and actually go ahead and do a stream, like, after I edit the video. I'm not even sure. We gotta listen to the baby and stuff, but let's get into the plot. Obviously the prison and Woodbury are two different locations that are happening at the story, which creates some interesting stuff and a lot more content for this series. So at the prison, Rick is traumatized after the death of his wife, Lori, during childbirth, and abandons his responsibility as both a parent to his new daughter and to the other members of the group, instead releasing his anger on walkers. I know, I'm watching college football right now, which is why there's like a glare on my face every now and then. Excuse me. So yeah, he doesn't want to accept the trauma, and he's not ready to really grieve yet that his wife's dead and the baby's living. He's like, I don't want to care for that baby right now. I wish our Lori was still here, and it's really heartbreaking. I can definitely understand it, but then he just turns into this foolish, kind of like a Shane type of character, where he takes his anger, takes all of his frustrations out on stupid things, I guess, which is good, I guess. He's like clearing places out of walkers, but still. Daryl steps up as an interim leader and offers to go with Maggie to locate infant formula and other supplies for the newborn, because obviously if the baby doesn't get formula in time, it will die. So that is very unfortunate. Daryl is definitely assuming this role this episode of a leader, which is great for his character development. I mean, a lot of people like him as a character. A lot of people wanted to see him succeed like this in the first place and get higher up promotion in this group. So, yeah, he does a good job at stepping up here. Gwen, Axel, and Oscar dig graves for their fallen, Lori and T-Dog. Gwen remains resentful towards the prisoners, Axel and Oscar, due to losing his friends as a result of their fellow prisoner Andrew's sabotage. Again, this group just wrongly and foolishly blaming the other prisoners for stuff that, obviously the other prisoners did, and they could have probably talked it over with them, but still, I mean, it's really, really foolish and really, really immature. A lot of these people haven't really matured yet, and it's kind of weird. I don't know. Gwen then goes to look for Rick in the prison tunnels, who is still mindlessly killing walkers, so he's trying to console with him. He's kind of like, look, man, we need a leader. We need someone to watch over these prisoners and make sure that, we still pretty much fucking own them right now. They're trying to get under our skin, and it's not happening. Glenn tries to convince Rick to return with him, but Rick throws him against the wall, and Glenn, recognizing that Rick is in a dangerous headspace, decides to leave Rick alone because, in this dangerous headspace, Rick could do some terrible things to Glenn. He could do some terrible things to everyone else in the group, like when he returns to the cell block, all this pent up frustration with this whole concept of this apocalypse and then losing loved ones. This is the first major loved one he has lost in the apocalypse that he was really closely connected to. We didn't really know the backstory with him and his parents, so we're assuming that his wife and son are pretty much all he had, and obviously his wife has been replaced with a newborn baby. So, yeah. He doesn't even know this fucking baby. It just came out of the womb, so, yeah. Definitely interesting stuff there. Who is honking? Daryl and Maggie successfully recover supplies from an abandoned daycare center, and they see to tending to the newborn. So yeah, Rick's not taking responsibility. Carl, as the fucking son, is taking more responsibility. I kind of hate Rick for what he's decided to do in this episode, but then again, it is what it is. Daryl asks Carl what to name his sister, and Carl considers the names of those that they have already lost, which is really thoughtful of Carl, because he's definitely developed some relationships with this group, more than Rick has, obviously. Very thoughtful of Carl to kind of give a tribute to all the group members lost. Daryl later visits Carol's makeshift grave, placing a Cherokee rose to honor her memory. They don't know what happened to Carol, and I don't think I remember from watching it what her actual fate was. The same thing happened to Merle. Like, he's up in the air, his fate. Carol is missing. Like, they don't know if she's dead or alive right now, and we don't find out this episode. Obviously, it's a slow burn. It's going to be a built-up suspense of that. So, yeah. Very interesting, and Daryl honors her with the Cherokee Rose. Rick has found the boiler room where Lori died, finding a bloated walker inside with no trace of Lori's body. So, the walker probably ate her. Believing the walker had eaten her corpse, Rick proceeds to execute it and considers opening it up to look for Lori's corpse, but forgoes that. He wants to, he's like, it's probably not a good idea. I'll probably get infected. Obviously, they're all infected, but he might die from it, doing stuff like that. Let me see here. He wanted to probably bury her body with the others, but her body was not able to be recovered. As he sits in the boiler room thinking himself, the phone in the room suddenly rings. He goes to answer it. That's kind of where obviously that doesn't happen all at once. We kind of shift back and forth from Woodbury in prison. I mean, if they had one storyline and then the other storyline, it seemed too straightforward and not dramatic enough, I don't think. So let's then move on to the Woodbury proceedings. The town prepares for a celebration as directed by the governor. I don't know why they're celebrating, but yeah. Michonne, still suspicious of the governor, attempts to retrieve her katana from his quarters. Yeah, she's all along, she's kind of been right. They've had some big red flags, and there's going to be a big red flag in this episode I'm going to discuss. After getting her katana, she's forced to hide as the governor returns and overhears Milton warning the governor that his celebration will delay his experiments. Milton's on top of things. He's kind of like the NPC loser of the group with the Einstein brain. He's like, look, man, I got to get back to my craft. We got to make sure this operation's going successfully. No time to celebrate. She opts to exit out a back window to avoid being caught and discovers a courtyard with several cages filled with walkers. So she's just uncovering the secrets. She is being a little nosy, in fairness, but I think it was definitely necessary to get to know this group a little bit more, and by her curiosity, we get to know about the group. She proceeds to open the cages and methodically kill the walkers. Now, obviously, we're assuming that when Milton and the governor and Michonne and them were talking about, hey, we should keep walkers alive and attach them to the front gates to get rid of other walkers, because if walkers smell other walkers, they're not going to be cannibalistic towards each other. But she kills them, so they have to kind of reset their progress. And later on in the episode, we kind of know another reason they use walkers. So yeah. However, she is caught and taken to the governor, who orders her to become part of the research team, or else she is banished from camp. This team, including Milton and Merle, is tasked to bring still animated walkers that are trapped in pits back to Woodbury, so we're kind of shown the process of what this group does. The governor speaks to Andrea regarding Michonne, warning her that she is creating tension in Woodbury, even though literally no one fucking else but the research team and the main people know about her wrongdoings, I guess. Michonne, again, tries to convince Andrea to leave with her. Andrea believes that the governor will not let them go willingly, but is surprised that Merle allows them to freely leave the town. But it's probably against the governor's orders. The governor is probably going to be pissed at Merle because he let these people go. They're trying to trap them into society, That's a good, yeah. Andrea wavers and opts not to leave, unwilling to spend another 8 months surviving for her life, because you guys saw at the beginning of the season, she was straggling. She was suffering pneumonia. She barely got to that city, and they're very lucky that they found the governor and them hunting these other walkers, and that they got caught even. Michonne decides to leave on her own. Obviously, she didn't need Andrea all along. That was proven when she pulled up with the walkers on Andrea like that. That evening, the governor has Andrea join them to watch Merle spar against Martinez while surrounded by chained walkers. Now, we don't really know a lot about Martinez, but yeah, it's very fucking evil. Andrea considers the event barbaric, but the governor insists it teaches the townspeople to not be afraid. It's weird. It's a really weird custom that this group fucking partakes in, and I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Critical response. The episode was generally well received. On the AV Club, it got a B. The feverish intensity of Rick's speechless rampage was great. There's some criticism for uninteresting characters and the pretty anticlimactic reveal of Woodbury's festivities. We kind of knew it was going to be like that. It was kind of expected, kind of a predictable thing. 8.5 out of 10 on IGN. The development of Woodbury, the governor, Rick, Daryl, and Michonne was great. A lot of people kind of grew up a little bit. Gwen's dialogue with Herschel was kind of a weak point. It was kind of weird. Gwen's dialogue was too straightforward, and his description of T-Dog's unseen heroism was near self-parody. They didn't take this character serious enough to give him enough of a monologue to really discuss how important T-Dog was to the group, because we never really got shown that on screen time. And it doesn't make sense for Glenn to all of a sudden come out here and be like, oh yeah, he was my fucking hero. I wouldn't be alive if it was him. And I mean, I guess that's a part of the show, not giving us the backstory. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. I gotta finish editing this video for you guys so you guys can enjoy it before stream tonight. We're watching Syracuse, Virginia. Syracuse is up 7-0, 4.5 left in the first, so that's interesting. We have 3 football games on tonight, so I'm probably gonna watch those throughout the night. And yeah, just hopefully you guys enjoyed. GZTV reviewing your favorite TV shows, and obviously we had a music review earlier today, so that's me as well. Have a good rest of your day.